really strange why we've suddenly just decided to take ourselves out of the running for Eze. By all accounts, you know, the PSR stuff, we're fine with PSR. We could have bought Eze and been fine with PSR. There would have been no sanction or no punishment if we'd have spent that money on him. So why have we decided to take our hat out of the ring? Is there someone else coming? Hello, all Gooners. Welcome back to the Arsenal Bloodline. I am Elts. Thank you for joining me once again, listening to me waffle and ramble on about my favourite topic in the world, which is Arsenal Football Club. Thank you very much. We'll never not appreciate it. So thank you for joining me. However, after the satisfaction of the 3 points at Old Trafford on Sunday, I just wanted to talk about something that's been bugging me for about 7 days. And no one's really talking about it too much, but it's really bothering me. This Eberechi Eze to Spurs. What? And there's not been too much of a reaction from the Arsenal fan base. And I want there to be, because it's like the football season's distracting everybody. It's like, hold on a minute. We've been flirting with this guy for 2 months. Yeah? Every major publication, every serious ITK, all over the internet, for months. It was expected. Eze was coming to Arsenal. Yeah, former Arsenal supporter, former Arsenal academy player. It was written. He wanted to come to Arsenal. That's what we were being told every day. Eze only wants Arsenal. Eze keen on Arsenal. Only for Spurs to come in and Arsenal go, oh, okay, Spurs, you have him. We don't want him. Why don't we want him? We need him. We need him. There's no two ways about this. You know, I looked at the squad on Sunday against Man United, and everyone's saying how much depth we've got and all that. I'm not sure we've got that much depth, you know. I'm not sure we've got that much depth. I saw Havertz come on for Gyökeres. Arteta was always going to do that, you know. He had to bring on his favourite son. He brought a Madueke for Martinelli, which just seemed to be defensive cover for defensive cover in that game. And that was it. After that, you look at the bench and it's Wanyeri and Max Dowman. That's it. So for all this depth, you got an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old that I'm not even sure the manager entrusts, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know if Arteta trusts these guys at all. So we're still very much in need of another creative player. We saw some great transitioning against Man United with players not doing the right things in the final third. There was numerous moments in that game where I thought, I'd love to have seen Eze on the end of that attack, or I'd love to have seen what Eze would have done in that moment, you know? Opening day of the season, so not coming for anybody, but I find it really strange why we've suddenly just decided to take ourselves out of the running for Eze. By all accounts, you know, the PSR stuff, we're fine with PSR. We could have bought Eze and been fine with PSR. There would have been no sanction or no punishment if we'd have spent that money on him. So why have we decided to take our hat out of the ring? Is there someone else coming? That is what I'm here to discuss today. I'm going to speak about the options that are now in front of us without Eze and look at the next 5 best options. Some of these are going to be completely unrealistic, by the way, guys. This isn't what I think is going to happen. These are just the options of what we could do against what I would like us to do against reality. So we're going to come to a conclusion at the end of it as to what is the most likeliest outcome. So yeah, that's the premise of this video. There's 5 options that we have. These are players that we've either been linked with or players who I just think will do a great job and would be more than a consolation of failing to land Eze should we land this particular player. So let's go through him. First up, Rodrigo. Rodrigo, we have been linked with for even longer than we was linked with Eze for. Now, I think of all the players that I'm about to mention, I think Rodrigo is probably the most likely to happen. I've got to be honest with you guys. Unlike most people online and most people that you will speak to about Rodrigo, I'm not really that blown away by him. I don't think there's been any game that I can pick out and where I can say, oh yeah, wow, he really, blew my socks off. Wow, I was so amazed by what I saw from this player, or I was really impressed by this player. Not at all, really. I wonder if he wasn't Brazilian and if he wasn't playing for Real Madrid, whether people will be so keen on him. But yeah, I think this could be a story that has got legs. Although I'm very sceptical after the whole Eze debacle. And like I said, we've been linked with Rodrigo for maybe even longer than we were with Eze. Skillful player, good, decent amount of pace. That's about it, really. Sounds like Martinelli, really. I mean, his stats last season was 6 goals and 5 assists. Really? Is that what we're about to commit to a obligation of 80 million next year if we secure him on loan? That's the story. You know, Arsenal want to secure him on loan this year and with an obligation to buy next year for 80 million. What if he stinks the place out in the year that he's on loan? What if we really don't? What if he doesn't hit the ground running? Then you're obligated to buy this guy for 80 million next summer. Knowing the club and how frugal we are with our spending, that will probably be half the budget for next year. I'm not really sure if I'm keen on that, if I'm being honest, guys. I'm really not. I'm more keen on the next guy I'm about to mention, and that's Antoine Semenyo of Bournemouth. He had a fantastic season last season. He kind of trailed off a little bit towards the end, but be that as it may, he still had a fantastic season last season. For 3/4 of last season, I think he was really, really good, like really, really good. I think he scored 11 goals. Let me just check my notes here. He scored 11 goals and got 5 assists, which is better than any of our midfielders, including Saka. I mean, obviously Saka was injured for a bit, but the stats don't lie. The numbers are really good from Semenyo. Very powerful player, very quick, very strong, and has got a really good shot on him. I think we saw evidence of that on the opening day of the season this year against Liverpool last week, Friday, where he took the game into his own hands, got his team back into the game as they were trailing 2-0, brought it back to 2-2. The second goal particularly was a fantastic goal. Seriously underrated. I haven't heard people speak about that goal in enough glowing terms for me. The way he picks up the ball on the edge of his own box, runs the length of the pitch, and then finds an absolutely fantastic finish. Kind of sounds like Henry against Spurs, 3-0, remember? Great goal, great goal. Of all the options that I'm about to mention, he is most certainly the one that I would probably look for with the most anticipation, I think, and the most excitement. If we could bring in Semenyo, I would love that. I think the issue with going for him now is Bournemouth ain't going to want to sell. They ain't got enough time to find a replacement, which would be, again, on Arsenal, because we had the whole summer. Why go for him so late? Why, indicate your intention so late on in the window? I would fully understand Bournemouth if they told us to do one, to be honest. Next up on the list is Anthony Gordon, probably the most least likely from this list to materialise. I mention him for 2 reasons primarily. One, because there was slight murmurs in the earlier stages of the transfer window. That is something that we could potentially explore. Never ever seemed likely to me, particularly in this window of all windows when they've got the whole Isak thing going on. There's no way Newcastle will allow themselves to lose 2 of their biggest stars. After Isak is undoubtedly Anthony Gordon, but he is a player that I admire. I admired him when he was at Everton. I flirted with the idea that Arsenal could potentially make a move for him when he was at Everton. I thought that would have been a good bit of business. But of course, he went to Newcastle and he's proved to be a really good signing for him. I would love to see Anthony Gordon at Arsenal. I think he's more direct than Martinelli. He's more confident than Martinelli. But like I said, circumstantial, it's just very unlikely to happen. But certainly a player I have got a lot of time for. Last season, let me just check my notes. He got 6 goals and 5 assists. Not exactly show-stopping, but I think in different teams, in different systems, we could really see the best of Anthony Gordon, particularly if he came to Arsenal. Next on the list, Raphael Lei, a player very similar to Rodrigo, got a lot of hype behind his name. A lot of people would love to see him at Arsenal. I'm not one of them. And this might cause a little bit of controversy for those that watch this video. I don't really think there's that much between Leao and Noni Madueke, if I'm being honest with you. I really don't. Yes, Leao's flashy, he's quick, he's got some quick feet. Sounds like Noni Madueke to me. I think there's a reason why the top European clubs have not come in for him up until now. Why would Arsenal? Good player on his day, could be frightening, really threatening and dangerous to any opposition team or fullback. Just not for me. Next on the list, this is the penultimate name, is a guy that I know very little about, but we were rumoured to be in this player's country. Well, not his country of birth, because he's not a French national, but certainly we were in the country of his team that he currently plays for, speaking to his representatives about a transfer. That story broke about a couple of weeks back. And this is a guy by the name of Malik Fofana, who plays for Lyon. Very promising youngster, 20 years of age, quick feet and very, very quick. However, again, don't know much about him. His stats from last season, not that impressive. I mean, 5 goals and 4 assists. But again, it could be down to systems. Come to Arsenal, I'm sure he would improve under Arteta's stewardship for sure. But again, doesn't seem very likely. Again, maybe too late in the window to really see that materialise. So yes, number 6 on this list is Ademola Lookman. And I think along with Antoine Semenyo, I think this is the player that I would want to see at Arsenal. And I think there's a chance we can do it. There is a chance we can do it. Now, there's been no rumours. There's been nothing concrete. No story breaking about Arsenal being interested. I believe Lookman, was being courted by either Inter or AC Milan. One of the two Milan clubs, it looked like had a deal, or it might have even been Juventus. One of the major Italian clubs, I think, were chasing him hard. And only very recently, that deal's been called off. So he's still available, man. Like, he is still available. I know he was in the Prem previously. I think he played for Everton, then he went to Fulham, I believe. Didn't really pull up any trees in the Prem previously. But sometimes that happens, man. It happens with Mohamed Salah. It happened with Kevin De Bruyne. Started in the Prem, failed to light it up in the Prem. Then they go abroad, learn their trade abroad, come back, and then they're superstars in the Prem. Look at Mohamed Salah now. Look at Kevin De Bruyne. He's a legend for Man City now. So that can happen. You know, Gyökeres, he's still got to prove it, right? But he started off in this country, had to leave, gain his confidence, learn his strengths, grow into his man strength, come back now, and hopefully to light it up in the next few weeks. But yeah, Ademola Lookman is one that interests me a lot. I like that. I like the potential of that a lot. If you said to me, choose between Lookman and Semenyo, for me, it's a coin toss. It really is. Last season, let me just check my stats. Lookman last season scored 15 goals and got 5 assists. You can't really argue with those stats. That's what you want from a winger. I know it's not all about stats. I don't just want a stat paddle, but show me some credentials. I don't want to see a man scoring 5 goals like Fofana or 6 goals like Rodrigo, a guy that all these fans are very happy for us to spend 80 million on, when we could spend 50 million and get Lookman. You could spend 60 million and get Semenyo. So for me, those are the two that I'll be after. Will Arsenal make it happen? I love my football club, I really do, but I really wish they did business better. I wish there was a bit more ambition, and I'm not sure if we're ambitious enough to make that happen. The bottom line is that we need to do something, because Martinelli on the left and Noni Madueke, that's not enough for me in terms of potency and real danger going forward. We need just one more player, in my opinion. But guys, let me know what you think. Those are my thoughts and my feelings about the Eze situation. I do not understand why it's fallen flat. I don't understand why we've got cold feet. There's a part of me, a really unrealistic, hopeful part of me, that still thinks, please, Arsenal, hijack Tottenham at the last minute. That'll be so Spursy. It'll be so typical of Arsenal and Spurs. Like, make them think they're going to get someone and then hijack them at the last minute, But that's wishful thinking. I think he's going to end up at Spurs, and that absolutely crushes me. It really, really does. But Arsenal, it's over to you. You've got 13, 14 days to do something. Please don't go to status quo. And, while we're happy with what we have, please, 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 there is still time to really enhance our chances of winning this first league title in 22 years. Let's see if they do it. But, guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your feelings behind it. Do we need one more? Am I being dramatic? Would Eze have been the perfect fit? Let me know in the comments. But for now, guys, I'm Elts for Arsenal Bloodline. Do not forget to subscribe, by the way. And I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.